Hi everyone, this is Juliet here in Glastonbury at Healing Waters Sanctuary in Glastonbury, and I'm here this week with Brigitte Antelme. Do I say your name correctly?
Yes.
Because you're French. Antelme, how do you say it in French? Brigitte
Antelme.
Brigitte Antelme.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you've heard Brigitte speak before with me. She's on our Council of Elders. And I'm just having little things ding on my computer, which I have to turn off. Okay, so hopefully some people will turn up here. I just before we start, Brigitte, I just want to check that we are actually going live.
Well, it says live is 58 seconds.
I just want to check. Okay, so that's good. It's just that, so it's working on YouTube.
Okay, Rini says, good morning, ladies. Good morning, Rini.
And it seems to be working on Facebook. So Rini is calling from
Jack.
where?
Good morning, Jack. I mean, good afternoon.
Okay, that's wonderful. So that's absolutely brilliant. So good morning, Jack. I mean, good afternoon, Jack. We're only in England, so it's not that different. So
no, but Rini Puma is saying good morning, ladies. So maybe she's from another country.
Rini, where are you from? Where are you actually from, Rini? Are you in America?
Alaska.
Oh my goodness me.
She was at your house and Brigitte was there. And I was there with Perrin Davé and Jennifer in their retreat, the Avalon retreat. Mamma mia.
Wow.
And Brigitte was fixing your front door. What a small world.
That was a very long time ago. That's when the door lock wouldn't work. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember those things. I just fix things, but I don't remember.
Oh, we did. The door codes didn't work, Brigitte. You took it all apart. Remember?
Oh, that door.
Yes.
Oh, that was at Healing Waters. Yes, of course, I remember. And hello, Jack. Yes, I'm Mabby as well. And we have greetings from Marion MacDonald Woodsome. So I guess that's Scotland? Are you in Scotland, Marion?
Or America?
Well, greetings. That's so beautiful to be greeted. There's such a warmth to the heart when I hear those words.
That's absolutely amazing. So I'm just checking that we're live everywhere. Waiting for a few more people to come on.
Well, while you're checking, I'm just going to say, oh, Santa Barbara, California.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Lots of people. That's absolutely amazing.
Well, I did send invitations to people in America.
That's beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for coming on to our show. We missed it last week. I can't remember why I missed it. Life is so incredibly hectic here. Why did I miss it?
You were on a fire and you had the mayor and you were on the tour. There was something important.
That was it. We had a special full moon celebration here at the gardens, and so that's lovely. We have amazing things happening here in the Healing Gardens at the moment in Glastonbury, and we're really up in the level of community support that we can offer. And part of offering that is that we're now having gatherings on specific phases of the moon, and we're also really creating a beautiful sacred space in the spring. Well, it's always the spring, the Healing Waters spring is always a really sacred space anyway, but we're just putting some other things in there to support people. And this spring is called the Mother Spring. So do you want to say a little bit about this concept, Brigitte, the Divine Mother, the importance of the Divine Feminine?
Well, maybe what I can share is right now I've been called to be by the Atlantic Ocean. So I've been walking for the last 10 days and going in the waters with an absolute open heart and eyes away. And for me, the waters have to do with we come from the waters when we are held. We come in as beautiful light beings, and then we are nested in the waters of our mother. And water is so nurturing, it's so resourcing, and it's the place where we grow. And that's the personal waters of our personal mother. But then there is the divine Sophia, which is the collective waters. So for the last 10 days, I've been walking by those waters, and the waters have been amazing. They've been sometimes turquoise and sometimes transparent green. And it's a beautiful energy body because it just rolls the rocks. It just turns everything into, it's softer in the edges. So it's a master teacher. And it's both masculine and feminine. And it's the energy as well of Neptune. The collective water has to do with Neptune, which is the mystic waters. So right now, what I would invite each one of you to do with that theme of the sacred well is just to tune into your heart and as well to tune into your soul and the beautiful being that you were born to be. And where is it that you can take that resonance, the water, the cup of the water of your heart. And Juliet speaking of the waters. And in Glastonbury, you have the chalice well. And in healing water, you have those beautiful sacred healing waters which connect beyond time, beyond this dimension where we are incarnating right now. And there is no separation between now, the past, and what we are co-creating in the future. So for me, everything is connecting, and the past is here. So if I can start clearing my own waters, my own trauma, by offering compassion to those parts of myself that are still in the shadow, then I can create a bit more spaciousness. And then the collective waters start being more clarity, just like the ocean can be very dark, very dangerous, but it can be very soft. It can be inviting. So that's what I wanted to say. That's all I have to say.
Honoring that which is sacred, honoring the feminine, and
yes,
the feminine way is like everything is welcome here. Each one of us is a unique being. We've all of us come with a specific purpose, that we're here for a specific reason, and we are all different, and that each one of these differences is welcome. It's not one stamp that stamps all the same. And the feminine is about accepting everyone, accepting us all in whatever shape or form or way we experience the world, the way we experience life. All is welcome. It's diversity is important. And it's just the feeling at this moment is that there are very powerful forces at work, or maybe they're not powerful forces, maybe we're giving them that power. But there are forces at work that are attempting to crush this diversity, to crush the divine feminine, to crush life, to make us all the same, to make us conform. this kind of power over situation that's been rolling forward like a steamroller over humanity for the last, it's been really in our face for the last couple of years, but actually it's been something that's gone on for centuries and centuries, isn't it? So in the middle of that, we are holding a space and we're building community space here at Healing Waters and the Healing Gardens in the Sacred Mother Spring, and Brigitte is holding the same beautiful feminine space, divine feminine space, at her Source Center in France, Atala. And they're both places, they're sanctuaries, they're places where you can come to, and you're welcome.
And I want to add, Juliet, wherever you are, Santa Barbara, Canada, England, wherever, you are holding that sacredness, that sacred space for the sacred water, the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. You too are that portal of energy. And that's very important. Moment by moment, with each breath, with each heartbeat, you are offering that to this planet. So yes, it may feel right now everything is contracting, compressing, pushing on us, but it has a divine purpose, which is about taking us back to the essential. And what is the essential for each one of you? Going back to that drop of water, the sacred drop of water, which is called the divine feminine, the divine cup. There is each drop of water. Can we make sure that that is the pure essence of what you are, each one of you holding? And yes, there are sacred places on the earth, Mount Chatsa, the Atlantic, Montségur in France, many, many places, Tibet, you know. I mean, it's just the mountains are sacred. The waters are sacred. The wind is sacred. The fire is sacred. Every element is sacred. The cosmos is sacred. But we have the cosmos within us. We are that cosmos. The trauma is our dissociation. The trauma is we have separated. We have gone with comparing, judging, putting down, thinking we're not good enough. But every moment we are perfect. Like Juliet was saying, everything from the tiniest blade of grass is sacred in the eyes of the divine, whatever you call it. I call it divine. It can be source, but it can just be the breath of wind. It can just be that breath that you're breathing. And that's perfect. So that's what I wanted to add to what you said, Juliet.
Yeah, that's really important, because it's about each one of us being empowered and to know that we are sacred and that we are powerful. Because in trauma terms, what's happening is that we, in this attempt to crush humanity, is this feeling like we're not powerful, that we can't stand up against this force, that we don't matter, that we either go along with the agenda or else bad things are going to happen to us. But we don't have to go along with that, and we can stand, each one of us, in our truth, in the uniqueness of who we are, and to know that you're blessed, and that each one of us is blessed, and that you are not alone. This feeling, there's been this attempt to disconnect people and to isolate people and to break communities. But these bonds of being human can never be broken.
No, they can't. They can't. And the beautiful thing is, the more we stay in the power of the heart, which is all about love, compassion. Every cell in your body has a heart intelligence, a heart consciousness. So if we just, instead of going outside and seeing the chaos is part of the change. There's always the energy of Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn right now. Pluto, when it breaks the old form, but there is a higher intelligence. It has to do that. Pluto is a volcanic eruption. So it's that energy within us that's coming, and it's just coming from within, and it just has to break the old form. What we've been hanging on to as truth are questions, we want answers. But if we go with uncertainty, if we just go with that uncertainty and just surrender and say there is a higher purpose to Pluto coming in Capricorn and breaking the old form in institutions, in governments, in scholarizations, in banking systems. It's changing everything we have put our faith in. And we're being suddenly turned around with Pluto. And he's saying, come on, let's just bring a new, volcanic eruptions, lava, fire, and let's bring new growth. But that's a big challenge for us, because humanity, in order to move with the new growth, needs to accept the chaos. And to release the chaos, we have to declutter. So what no longer serves? So the question is, with Uranus in Taurus, what's no longer serving my purpose? So do I need to declutter my cupboard, my emotions? How am I in my relationships? How am I? What needs to be broken? What needs to be shed? Is that relationship serving me, or is that needs to be shed? So it's like shedding skins, like the snake medicine, shedding skins, or like the lobster when she's at her most vulnerable. Right now, humanity is at its most vulnerable because we're shedding our skin and we don't know. This is absolutely being with nature's medicine. As a shaman, I speak now of snake shedding. And snake, the serpent has to shed its skin. If it doesn't, it's going to die. But if it goes with the fear rather than the process, and right now I invite you to go with the process, which is shedding the old husk, just going with the nakedness, trusting that process, because there is a higher purpose, which is you're much greater. So when serpent or lobster or crab or the tree, it has to shed its bark. And to do that, it has to suffer a little bit. And right now, this is the process that we are all undergoing. And it's not comfortable. Mm-hmm. So how are you feeling with this process, Jack, or Zoe, or Marian, or Rini? How are you feeling about that process? Because we as elders, we are holding something. I personally, by the Atlantic, I'm holding a portal of energy. And it's in my heart. That's what I came to do. And it's a huge portal that I'm holding. So see how what we have just shared with Juliet, see how that resonates with you. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Hi, Junie.
Ginny, amazing. Listening from America. Thank you so much, Ginny, for joining us. It's so beautiful to have you here. Yeah, so we're just asking it's like how are you all with the discomfort, the stress of what's going on? We're not in an easy situation at all, but it can be a very powerful, a very growthful situation that can really, work for humanity rather than against humanity. It can be the, like being in the pressure cooker that really refines and helps us step into a higher level of consciousness. And we have So a big share in here from Jack.
Yeah, it is a matrix. It is a vortex. It is a matrix. But I'm inviting you, Jack, just to hold it in your heart, because you are holding something. Okay, and we must move away from the divide and the separation, even if the governments are telling stories. That has to do with Neptune in Pisces, the illusions. For thousands of years, we have been going with illusions, handing over our power to external authorities. So what I invite is not to go with even the lies. I'm taking you back to the core, the eye of the storm, which is where you become much more empowered. So it's not even about the good guys, the good women, the shadow of the feminine, the gossiping. We even have to move away from all of that. What I've been holding every day is just that core place where there is no longer the white, the bad, the black, the good, the bad. There is only absolutely co-creating. That's what you're saying. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't speak and read. So that is good. So we must no longer even name good and bad. We must not separate governments, institutions. We are just co-creating the new, which means what is it that I'm being asked to hold?
Yeah, so what is it that each one of you here is being asked to hold? How does that present in your life at the moment? How do you be with whatever is going on for you, whatever is showing up for you in this moment in time? Whether it's like right here now in the UK, all our petrol is stopped, all the service stations is closed down, so we have no more access to fuel. For some peculiar reason, of which I don't believe anything that's put out in the media. So there is something else going on. So how am I with that situation, or how am I with the fact that right now in all the schools they're rolling out to lethal things into being shot into our children, and that's something of a horror story that's going on. How can I be with that? I mean, there are crazy making situations, but how do we remain sane within that, within the middle of that? How do we remain sane and aligned to truth and justice and love? How do we stay in that really grounded situation with whatever is going on? Because this alignment, this staying sane is what is going to take us through. If we allow ourselves to be totally knocked off center and to be totally wiped out by what's going on, humanity is not going to come through this. So how do we stay in that place of sanity?
It's going through the eye of the needle, isn't it? In the ancient scriptures, it was spoken of going through the eye of the camel's eye, which is like that. And it means we really have to stay focused and aligned. And in the silence of my heart, I am, as Thomas Hubel says in his prayer, and in the silence of my heart, I hear thy name. So everything that's being playing outside, it's throwing us back to a deeper place of silence. And that's a challenge, isn't it? That's a challenge. So no more petrol. What does that mean? Staying still. Walking bare feet on the earth. Feeling the wind and the rain on my body. Smiling to someone I meet. Learning to feel the elements again. Stopping speeding. Stopping going to work. stopping flying places, stopping doing, and going back to being. So when I watch the waves rolling in, they are just in the rhythm of the movement of the wave that comes on the beach and goes out, rolls and goes out, and engages and resonates and relates to the millions and billions and trillions of particles of sand and the rocks and the seashells, and engages with the fishes and the dolphins and the whales and the human beings and the feet, and washes the feet and the imprints that are left. So it's like, in a way, we're being washed back to the original imprint of whom we are born to be. And
So
for maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So it's how Jack put up, like, the petrol situation is deliberately engineered diversion. And I think this is what's been playing out, not just in the last couple of years, but for decades. These deliberately engineered situations distract human beings from what's really going on. There's all sorts of things that have been, that we've believed in.
Yeah.
And you know, like, we're in a giant psyop. Everything is false. And it's like, do we get caught up? Because the intention, it seems the intention is to catch us up in fear. And when we get caught up in fear, then we contract and we disconnect. We disconnect from each other. We disconnect from ourselves. Everything narrows down. The psyche narrows down. Our ability to interact and relate with things narrows down, because we're in this highly heightened state of fear. So we are then manipulatable, aren't we? But if despite all these diversions that have been put out, like the you know, the attacks in America, all these different things that happened, like in 2000 and whenever, and you know, the petrol crisis now, or it was the toilet roll crisis, the whole fear mongering that there is this terrible illness going around the world and we all have to shut down because of this. It's all lies. Every bit of it is lies designed to make us fearful. So if we go into that fear and contract, then all is lost. But if we can stay with the ocean, we can stay connected to our heart. And as Brigitte says, like, when the waves are rolling in and there's this relationship between the rhythm of the water and the interconnectedness of all beings that water is touching in that moment, every grain of sand, the relationship between the moon and the water, and everything in the cosmos is interconnected. And if we can allow our consciousness to keep expanding and to be with this, rather than to be locking down into this fearful state, you know, it's like we have to stay in our power. We have to stay in the uniqueness of who we are, as each one of us is a part of the divine, each one of us. And we have a very important purpose there.
And that place of power is the heart. That's the place. Not even what's rolling out right now is even in the cosmos. It's written in the cosmos. Neptune is at the end of Pisces. So it's two things. Mystic. We are mystical beings. We're beings of light. We are the divine, incarnate, made flesh. We have come to explore and experience the divine in our humanity. Emotional body, spiritual body, physical body, etheric, all the bodies. Okay? But we are the divine. But what I wanted to say is there is that higher purpose. Neptune has different facets, the mystic and the illusion, what I call the illusion rather than the lies. It's an illusion. Everything that's playing out is to put us back in alignment. It's the greatest challenge humanity has ever faced, bigger than ever. It's the same challenge we faced in Lemuria and then in the other Atlantis. It's the same. We have that portal, that matrix. It's 24,600. We are in it. We are going through the photon belt. We've never had so much light, so much gifting. We're not alone. We're getting so much support from the other realms. They know this is really a tough, the most challenging of time humanity has ever faced. But we're all going through this gate, all of us. This is not about them and us. This is about all of us going through that portal of the heart. So do we choose to say yes to being in compassion? Or do we still go with a story which is not reality? As Jack put it, this is not reality. So what is reality? Do you wish to co-create your reality by just accepting whom you are with compassion, everything that you are, the dark and the light, the lies that we all have perpetuated for centuries and centuries? We are the same beings that were there in Lemuria and in Atlantis when it sank, and we didn't get it. We are those same beings. We've just come back. And this time we have that opportunity again. So can we just be humble enough and stay in the power of the heart where we don't know, and with humility hand over to that cosmological playing out? There are 4 grand squares right now. We're at the end of something very important. And it is contracting. That's the last. And yes, there are court cases happening because we're co-creating a new earth. But to co-create that new earth, the old has to die. And the old is us, in us. What are we hanging on to? Yeah. What is it? My illness, my this, my that, my car, my house, my husband, my role, the woman that I am. No, I'm not even that. I'm just inviting this cosmos to come through me. I'm inviting the divine to come through me. I'm inviting each one of you on this call to come through me, because you are part of me. You're resonating in me. I feel you in me, and I feel myself in you. There's no divide. There's no comparison. And I'm the dark and I'm the light. And I'm everything that's played out on this planet, to the darkest of the darkest, to the most amazing light of co-creation. Yeah. And I'm that collective trauma that we have been playing out to reach this point that we are at right now, which is giving birth to new earth and honoring and bowing to her amazing wisdom. Because we are the youngest generation on Mother Earth. Trees are trillions of centuries old. We are just millions of years old. But we have taken it upon us to disempower every other realm. That is why the bill is heavy. That is why it's so painful. We have to understand through our bodies what we have put humanity through what we've put the cosmos through. But the cosmos is here. The alliance, the light beings, the angels, the archangels, they are with us in this. We're not alone. So let's be humble. And let's bow with humility, because this is a gift to be alive today. Isn't it, Jack? Isn't it? Rennie, if you're still here. Isn't it nutrient nirvana? Isn't it a gift? So I invite each one of you to really embrace that gift that each one of you are. And you, Juliet. Hello, Dana. ¿Cómo está mi cara amiga? And how is your English? So you, Marianne, you have often felt your role to be a kind of bridge between the worlds. Yes. From the past to what is to be. Yes. Metaphorically stand at the threshold. Yes, darling. A kind of steward or shepherd of life, home and family. I totally resonate with that, Marianne. So let's keep holding those bridges, like the tide, high and low tide, and that moment when there is no movement,
Yes.
when we just assimilate and digest.
It's what we call still point.
Yes, the still point, which for the tide is half an hour, and the sea is totally still, like oil. And then it starts flowing again and clearing.
In the human body, the still point, it's like when we drop to a deeper level of functionality, when the energy just goes,
Yeah.
And that's a very resourcing place. It's like everything is upgraded in that moment in time. Everything is energized in that moment in time. We're at that still point.
Can we just hold that for a moment, what you just shared? Let's just go in that still point and feel it. And there is a kind of welcoming, like we come home in what Julia just shared, in that still point. And it's the deeper we go into the breathing, the breath, meditation of the breath. We come home to that still point. Thank you. Thank you. So English is better for Dana. I have been feeling all you're telling us. It has not been easy. Thank you for this. I really needed it. Honoring your life and light, Mabi and Juliet. Thank you, cara Dana. Mi amore, io scari, e tu famiglia. You are with me in my heart every day, Dana. Although you live now in Texas, and you're welcome to come back to my house as long as I'm in France. But I'm going to come and visit you. I will. That's a vow I've made to my heart, to see you again in your country, in Mexico or in Texas, wherever you are now. They're beautiful people. This is a profound moment we are in now. And we are working day and night. And sometimes we may feel we're very tired. So please resource yourselves. Please, it really matters. Resource yourself with music, with poetry. Just share a link on the collective trauma. If you can, it was 50% off, so it was $197 until yesterday, until Thursday. I really encourage you to buy that collective trauma because you have the most amazing poetry from Pedrak, from Ireland, from beautiful Rose, who shares very ancestral poetry.
The Collective Trauma Summit you're referring to?
Yes, Yes, I've put the link on Facebook. Please
okay,
do
you give the link, I can put it underneath this video, Brigitte. Yeah,
and I put it onto my Facebook page, and I've invited you. And last night was the closing of the event with Thomas Hubel, and they had beautiful music from Jamie Sibert and beautiful poetry shared with Rose, who is this most amazing woman. As she speaks from her soul. So it's very resourcing. We need to go with resourcing right now. So whatever that is, walking in the mountain, walking on the ocean, walking in nature, hugging a tree, hugging a friend, holding a newborn child, blessing life. Yeah. Just being with yourself and hugging yourself. And that is for you, Jack, too. Hugging yourself, dearest. Hugging yourself. Hugging the inner children that didn't get seen, didn't get heard, didn't get spoken to. Let's hug and love those parts of ourselves that were shut away, that were exiled. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hold a moment of peace, of silence, together, as what is not real is breaking down totally. The vaccines and the labs, the fake medicine, the fake justice, the fake institutions, the fake governments that we co-created, the external authority, the fake churches, the fake gods. And let's just move back into that place of stillness and listen to the rhythm, your rhythm, your breath, your heartbeat. The infinite heartbeat of Pachamama. Let's invite the planets and the cosmos so they're not excluded and dissociated, but they are part of us. Remember to go beyond words. This is even beyond just energy. This is just being in the power of the heart. Isn't that special, Juliet? Feeling the heart of everyone here. One heart, one heartbeat, one breath, one infinite light of love. And let's be rocked in that, like a child who is being rocked in that light of love. It's only love. All the rest is illusion. All the rest is just illusion. And with that light of love, we can move the world. We just need to have one grain of sand. The size of our faith needs to be one grain of sand, and we can move mountains. Can we just hold that one grain of sand? Each one of us, we are that one grain of sand. And if you look at one grain of sand, it's pure light when the water goes on it. It's pure light. And it's trillions and trillions and trillions, infinite, going around the earth. Co-creation. The children of life. We are the children of life. Isn't that beautiful? Just to feel we're being loved. We've been loved forever. With our lives, with everything we have done, we still are being loved unconditionally. And isn't that worth living for? Isn't it, Juliet? Isn't it, Dana, Jack, Marianne, Renee? Beautiful people. What do you think? What do you feel, Juliet? Mm-hmm.
I'm very touched by your sharing today, Brigitte. I can just feel like, I know you've been walking by the ocean for days now. I can just feel how profound that has been for you, that you've been having that space, and how important it is to just really, really connect in so deeply. And that then, like, we all have this capacity. We just have to slow things down. We have to step outside of the step beyond the fear, step outside of the conditioned responses, and step into our true nature and into our true being, and give ourselves the space. I just had a profound moment out in the gardens, out in the field, lying on the earth and watching the clouds. And it was so good just to give myself that space and just like, just coming back to just being in that moment.
Yeah.
And it's so resourcing.
I feel this is what each one of us were being called, just to align with just being that. What you did, and you do that as you're being on the earth and with the heavens and the skies. You are being that for all of humanity. As I have walked bare feet, we are back home. Yes, Dana. Yes. No conditions, no differences. Being and feeling one. Yes. That's very profound. You are returning home. This is home. Love, acceptance, no conditions, no differences. Feeling one. Yes. I have for the last 10 days sent that for the universe, for each one of us. This is what I've been holding when I was speaking about the codes I've been bringing into my heart. That's what I am holding for each one of us, each one of you, for all of humanity. No difference. I've met people who had been vaxxed. I've met people who were shutting their restaurants to those who did not have the pieces of papers or the codes.
Warning you, Brigitte, about the words you use.
Yes, but I am not going with that. We are all compassion. We're all encompassioning everything. We are one. There is no divide.
There's
no exclusion. None at all.
This is really important, isn't it?
So what you shared, Anna, is absolutely perfect. We are home. Home is within.
Home is where the heart is, they say.
Yes, it is. So if we can just align with the heart in millions and trillions of cells, we are one. Yes, separation is an illusion, Jack. I agree. And that is why Neptune is in the waters. Neptune is in its own sign. It's at the end. And it's doing two things. It's taking us back to the waters of the cosmos and the divine source. Call it God, call it source. And it's breaking down the illusions. It's tearing the veil. It's tearing the veil apart. And what happens, like in the Bible, and when the veil is torn, you will see me face to face. That's very profound. You will see me face to face. In the silence of my heart, I am. And in the stillness of my heart, I hear thy name. And in the beauty of the world, I see your face. Thomas Hubel prayer. It's only a little extract. But what is beautiful is we will see face to face. And this is what we are now. We are seeing face to face.
Yes, the masks are coming off.
Yeah. And we have a choice. Do we go with the heart? That's a choice. Do we go through the power of the heart? Or do we choose to stay with fear?
And lies.
That's the illusion. Yesterday I was so sad and mad. One person was asking me to have another 2 people away from him because, yes, I felt so much separation and I was still having my heart sad. But by hearing you, I remembered it's an illusion. I just need to come back home. Thank you for bringing me back now. I have just tears of joy. Yes, let's join with those tears of joy. Dana, I love you. I embrace you. And let's just encompass and embrace those who are still with fear. I've met many people here, and all I've done is shared the beautiful protocols that just take it all apart. Everything will fall apart. Everyone will be going through that portal of energy of the heart of love. This is part of the light of love of the divine. No one will be left behind. That too is an illusion. We all will go through that new earth we are co-creating with a heart. So let's just expand our heart right now. Together, let's just open. And then this beautiful shared meditation, shared moment. Let's just be with each other and visualize the heart opening. And whatever codes you visualize, bring them into your heart. They are yours to hold. And let's just visualize being home in the embrace of the divine Sophia, Joshua, divine source, whatever, whoever you wish to name, the beloved. Let's just hold that moment and expand and send it to the whole planet. Pachamama. Let's send love to Pachamama. We are Pachamama. We and her are one. And let's keep our frequencies as high as we can with the joy. Dana, Jack, Marianne, Renee, and whoever is here and whoever will watch this, let's keep our frequencies absolutely with the highest frequency and vibrancy. Because that is what we need to co-create the new earth. That doesn't mean you can't cry, but Just keep frequencies. And blessed are you, Juliet.
And you, my darling.
For the friendship and the love. And blessed are each one of you.
So lots of love to you all. Oh, Ina, hi.
Ina, beautiful. You may have to watch again, Ina. I didn't know you were here. So where are you from, Ina? Are you from the northern Canada?
Ina's in Scotland.
Oh, well, bless you in Scotland. Thank you. Together, all of us, we are one. Together, we're working. We're co-creating this gate, North Ayrshire, Scotland.
North Ayrshire, Scotland.
I will look it up. North Ayrshire, Scotland. I will look it up. I am on southwest Atlantic coast right now, in France. Thank you, and beautiful Jack. Thank you for all you're doing for men. Thank you. Thank you. Deeply appreciated. Thank you. May more men come to join. And I know many men, and you're doing great work. Keep doing it. Keep being.
Okay, lots of love to you all. Bye for now.
Bye. Love your use of the word fake. It resonated so deeply with me. And I felt my heart lift. Most fake of all is the perceived and constantly pushed idea. Is any difference between people based on being poked? Yes, yes. We co-create that fake, Marianne. We are the co-creator of that. We have to collapse it. Okay? We need to purify the waters, the collective waters of all the traumas that have gone on. We are doing that right now by just aligning with the heart. Let's bring that home. Okay? It's only an illusion. It's all illusions. Let's see our children are safe. We have the power to bring them back to safety. With our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren. We are co-creating. Yes. So let it be. Let it be. I belong to the mother. I belong in her arms. She holds me at her breast and comforts my crying. Oh, let it be. Oh, let it be. We've gone beyond time. We can cut a bit out.
Beyond time. We're beyond time. We're not cutting anything out. All is welcome. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.